Guys, 8th of October, finally IRCC has lifted a lot of travel restrictions which were imposed due to COVID-19 in the previous months. But today, IRCC posted an update and said a lot of people can actually come to Canada to reunite with their family members, distant family members, some international students, and temporary foreign workers. So, if you are exempt from this travel restriction, if you want to know that, then this is the video that you must be watching till the end. It's going to be a long one, but it's going to have all the information and important steps that you need to follow if you want to come to Canada. My name is Sahil and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Hi guys, welcome back once again. My name is Sahil and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and I practice Canadian immigration related applications and submissions here inside Canada. I live in Brampton, and like I had promised earlier that I'm back in this video. This is a follow-up from the previous update that was released by IRCC on 2nd October. It mentioned that a lot of family members, distant family members, loved ones, some international students and foreign workers will be exempt, but the details were supposed to be released today, which is the 8th of October. But guys, before we start this video, I just want to remind you that if you're watching this YouTube video for the first time, or if you're watching this video on any other channel, then please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, because this bell icon will tell you whenever I have released a new video which will contain IRCC updates, any program or delivery updates. So if you want to be updated on Canadian immigration forever, then this is the channel that you must be watching. Also, if you want my help in applying for any Canadian visa, immigration, refugees or citizenship related application, I am authorized and regulated by ICCRC, and I will be able to help you in your application. So guys, let's just start this video, and a quick reminder that this is going to be a long one, because this particular update pertains to immediate family members, any family members who are from the extended family, other foreign nationals, and some international students, and some foreign workers as well. Okay, so we are going to divide this in particular sections. So the first one, we are going to talk about family members of Canadian citizens and permanent residents. Okay, and the following will be the family members for temporary residents of Canada. Okay, so the first one, it says that if you want to unite with an immediate family member who is a permanent resident or a citizen in Canada, who is an immediate family member. So first is a spouse or a common law partner, second is a dependent child, third is a dependent child of a dependent child, a parent or a step parent, and either a guardian or a tutor. So this is the category which is defined as an immediate family member. Now it clearly says that if you are an immediate family member of a Canadian PR or a citizen, you don't need any written authorization from IRCC if you want to travel to Canada. It is just that you must have a few steps in place. One, it is that you need to book your flight for Canada. You must tell the airlines that you are exempt from the travel restrictions, and also you must prove to the travel officials or the flight members that how you are related to this permanent resident or this Canadian citizen who's currently inside Canada. And you must always remember that your stay must be at least 15 days, and also you must have a quarantine plan in place. This plan is actually mandatory, and it's been clearly outlined on the IRCC website. Now guys, the second category, it says that if you're an extended family member of a Canadian citizen or a PR. Okay, now who is an extended family member is basically if you are in an exclusive dating relationship with a PR or a citizen, and you have been in this relationship for the past 1 year and have spent time in physical presence with that person, then you are an extended family member. If you're a non-dependent child, if you're a grandchild, if you're a sibling, half sibling or a step sibling, and if you're a grandparent. So these are the people who are considered as extended family members of Canadian citizens or PRs. So if you are one of these, you need to sign a couple of forms. There are 3 or 4 forms in place which you need to sign, and also you need to request for a travel authorization from IRCC. How to do that? You can always get our services. You can write to me. You can pick up my details in the description box, and you can reach out to me, and I'll try my best to help you. Guys, now if you want to reunite with a family member, immediate family member who's currently inside Canada on a TRV. Now, what is a TRV? Is basically maybe a student or a foreign worker, or maybe any other status who's temporary. The temporary in nature status is basically a person whom we are talking about. So, if you are an immediate family member who is in who's in Canada temporarily, it is one that if you are traveling to Canada from the US, then you must only provide evidence that your travel is essential. Okay, and essential in nature means let's say you want to live with your family member, then that is also an essential reason, because spouses also, spouses have to live together, so that is an essential reason. And if you're traveling from the US, you don't need a written authorization from IRCC. Okay, but if you are traveling from any other country apart from the US, you need to have a written travel authorization in place if your immediate family member is inside Canada temporarily. Okay, and once again, I said that how to request a written authorization. You need to get in touch with us, and we will be able to help you in getting that authorization to travel. Now, guys, family members are sorted. Now let's talk about some foreign nationals. Now, the first category of compassionate travel is for all foreign nationals. It clearly says that if you are a foreign national who's traveling to Canada for a compassionate reason, you must get an authorization from Public Health Agency of Canada to travel and to enter Canada. Okay, now we will be able to help you once again to get that. Now, what are the examples of compassionate travel? So let's say somebody is in the final moments of his or her life, you want to be with that person, or if you want to provide support to a person who's deemed critically ill, a person who's providing care to a person who medically requires support, and attending a funeral or an end of life ceremony. So if you are coming to Canada for one of those reasons, then you could be finding yourself traveling under a compassionate reason to travel. So guys, last and final category is for all other foreign nationals, and to be eligible under this particular category to travel, you need to adhere to two requirements very specifically. It says that you must be traveling to Canada for an essential and a non-discretionary purpose, and also you must be one of the following. The one of the following is that you could either be traveling from the US, or you are exempt from travel restrictions. Okay, now who is exempt from travel restrictions? It says that travelers from outside the US but are falling under the following category. It says the first one is a temporary foreign worker who is exempt from any travel restriction. Some international students. Now, when it comes to international students, I know a lot of students have been, accepted into colleges and institutions. They're finding themselves in a situation where they've been accepted into universities. Their intakes have opened, but they're still not sure whether they should be traveling or not, right? So there is a separate video that is coming soon for international students on the update so far. So for now, you can understand that temporary foreign workers are exempt from the travel restrictions. It says some international students. Also, some people who have been approved to become a permanent resident of Canada, but who are not yet permanent residents, which clearly indicates towards the people who have either approved for who have been approved for PR, have their landing documents, have their COPR, which is like the future landing document. So if they have that, there is a web form that they need to fill and write to IRCC and understand more on their travel restrictions. And also there are certain other category of people. So if you have any confusion as to whether you are exempt or not, you can follow the exemption, the authorization of exemption. Write it to IRCC, fill a web form, and that is the best way to know whether you can travel to Canada or not. Okay, now I guess guys, I know this has been a long video, a lot of information for you to digest. So if you want further clarity, feel free to pick up my coordinates in the description box below. Try reaching out to me, and once I get time, I will definitely respond to your queries. Also, I'll try my best to respond to the comments, but then nowadays there have been so many queries, I've been flooded with them, so I don't get a lot of time to answer you guys personally, but I will definitely try my best to answer all the questions. Once again, My name is Sahil and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Practice here inside Canada. If you need help with your applications and any authorizations, reach out to me. I'll try my best to help you out. Looking forward to seeing you soon in Canada. All the best.